Hi Soul Space, it's Monday night, 9 o'clock. Happy here to do the live with you. My name is Sheila Hill. So I have a great topic to talk about tonight. Something that's going to kind of prong off into two different conversations, or subtopics. But the main issue is that I'm seeing, feeling, experiencing, and hearing a lot about this same sort of topic, and that is about being in your body. So I'm finding that I'm giving a lot of advice lately that sounds like blank like you matter. And what that blank is eat like you matter, sleep like you matter, exercise like you matter, groom like you matter, speak to yourself like you matter. It's all coming back to that same self-love concept where you be in intention with yourself to be loving and kind. So let's talk a little bit about being in your body. I've been thinking about this live topic all day today, trying to figure out how I was going to explain to you what it's like to not be in your body, or how you would know if you're not in your body. And I can't honestly say that me of all people, I'm at a loss for words as to how I can actually describe it. Intuitively, when I'm working with my clients, I just have an inner knowing where I'm like, oh, they're not in their body. What's going on? So I guess the best way to explain it is that throughout our lifetime, those of us that have had any kind of traumatic events, or a traumatic number of years, or anyone that's sort of endured and survived a trauma, and it's a trauma by your own measure, not by anyone else's. An essence of you, a part of your soul's essence, a part of who you are, sort of flees the scene. Like, oh, this isn't safe, I'm out of here. And that's sort of when that sort of habit or instance is first created, is at the time of a trauma, where that part of you actually leaves the scene. Then it can become more and more habitual. Many of us that are light workers, many of us that are on the spiritual awakened path now, hi Ann, that really we're the trailblazers, all of the awakened ones right now, have all sort of endured some kind of hardship of some kind. Which means we've all had very strong ego aspects that we are either working to bring into alignment with our divine self, or we may still have some of those parts of ourselves that we still have to work through, which is totally fine. Everybody's on their own timeline. But it's very typical that those that are awakened right now are awakened and have endured some kind of trauma in their life that has created the need for a very strong ego aspect. So that ego aspect kind of keeps us safe and fights our battles for us and protects us because of whatever trauma we've endured. It kind of drives the avatar, while the soul essence of ourself kind of doesn't really hang out in the body very much. And then we take into practices such as meditation, and then the meditation leads to, for some people, astral travel and channeling and all kinds of out-of-body experiences that become more habitual. I know for myself, I didn't hang out in my body very much when I was going through the earlier part of my spiritual awakening. I always wanted to be up in the etheric realms, exploring and trying to figure out what was what, and learning and being here and being in my body and living my really human life. Hi Nancy, wasn't where I wanted to be. So I was out of my body most of the time. And that doesn't just happen sort of when you're in a meditative state. It's where you anchor your consciousness. So if you anchor your consciousness outside of your body, hi Deborah, in other realms, wherever that might be for you, then you're not in your body. Being grounded helps bring you back into your body, but if you are constantly focusing your consciousness somewhere else, then you're not in your body. So I'm going to talk about this body, being in your body piece from two different perspectives. And then I'm going to address the whole concept about food and energy and all of that stuff too. So from the perspective of the ascension that we are all going through, again, I talk about this in every video, whether you are on the bus, not on the bus, think there is even a bus, everybody's ascending. And through the ascension process, we take our physical bodies with us into the fifth dimension. So in order for that to happen, we may, from a consciousness standpoint, be able to go into a meditative state and reach out with our consciousness to the 9th dimension, the 12th dimension, the 15th dimension, wherever it is that we travel from a consciousness perspective. But it's when we come back to our physical vessel and bring our focus and attention back into our physicality, that becomes the anchor point. So you can project your consciousness all over the place all you like. When you come back into your physical vessel and come back to living your regular third dimensional life in your third dimensional physical being, that's your anchor point. So we need to be in our body, fully in our body, and not up playing around in all of these astral realms all the time, in order for our body to receive the higher vibrational consciousness frequencies, in order to integrate the new light codes and all of the cosmic events and solar stuff and portals and energetic stuff that we're able to receive, so that our physical vessel can ascend. Otherwise, we will always be these disjointed humans where we have consciousnesses that go like all over the place and yet a very dense third dimensional body. So we need to be fully in our body. Our focus, attention, and awareness on the body. As certain, like I posted today, there's a solar storm happening for the next couple of days. As those events happen, we must try not to escape out of our body, out of the icky feeling, the achy joints, the dizziness, the tiredness, whatever way that the symptoms show up for you. Your job is to stay in your body and hold space for yourself to allow these transitions to happen. Because as the light comes in, as these higher frequency consciousness codes and things come into the physical body, they will push to the surface the lower denser energies that are in your body. They push it to the surface so that they can be released. And then that's our job to help support it in doing that by resting, by drinking lots of water, by, going into meditation, by taking a salt bath, by eating beautiful, clean, high vibrational foods for a few days if that's not your normal practice. So being in our body is really, really important, or else we won't ascend, because you may have a really strong practice in being able to play in the astral realms, but unless you are holding space for honoring and loving your physical vessel through this process, the only way that we can go is to go as a whole, a soul, our etheric bodies and our physical body. We will ascend as a full whole piece. So you're going to be held back if you find yourself not playing human or being in your physical vessel. So it's really, really important from the perspective of ascension. Now I'm supporting some people. I'm always sort of trolling around in different Facebook groups, and a number of people have been posting saying that they suddenly feel like they're off their path. They're worried that maybe they've gone back to sleep, that their spiritual connection or their gifts seem to be dumbed down or turned off. So if that happens to be you and you're feeling less enlightened than usual, it's probably because you are being entrenched and anchored deeper into your physical body than you're used to. And that's perfectly okay. Your connection with whoever it is you connect with, your guides, your higher self, your team, whatever, hasn't gone away. It's just that you have been pushed down further into your vessel so that your connection frequency is sort of off. But it's all a part of the ascension process. We're going to ascend, and then there's going to be a time where we are playing in the higher realms again, and then we have to bring that right back into the physical body. Excuse me. So it's all normal. It's all a part of it. Try to have patience with yourself if you are having any kind of ascension symptoms. So dizziness, tiredness, not being able to sleep, sleeping too much, dehydration, achy joints, all of that stuff. Try to look at them as ascension proofs, like, oh, yay, I'm ascending, rather than, oh, this is awful and I hate this and it's terrible. Because again, it's happening for you, not to you. This is the most amazing time for us all to be going through something like this. It's never ever happened before. When you kind of complain about, oh, I haven't slept and it must be this and blah, 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 and whatever, oh, great solar storms again. When you complain, you are in resistance. And when you are in resistance, again, it doesn't allow the energy to do what it needs to do. The very best place for us all to be is asleep, quite honestly. When we are asleep, we are in full non-resistance because our ego is sleeping. Our conscious mind sleeps. Our unconscious does not. So our unconscious continues to communicate and receive messages and guidance from our higher self that allows the lower vibrational energies to leave our body and be replaced by the light, with us tinkering with it, judging it, questioning it, or complaining about it. So being asleep is actually the best place to be. If you've got a regular life that most people do, as do I, that you have to get on with it, try to put a little bit of a spin on it, that it's not a horrible thing that we're going through. It's actually quite magical. Excuse me, I'm trying to get rid of this tickle that's in my throat. Okay, so that's about the ascension. The physical vessel is very, very, very important, and we have to try and stay in our body. The other piece that I wanted to talk about is still about staying in your body. Is I have been working with some clients lately where when I talk to them about being in their body and I give them some suggestions, many of them have what I call food confusion, or they are running programs around food, eating and honoring the vessel, the human form, their bodies. And there's different programs and stories and distortions that are happening that we need to get cleared up that are keeping them from being in their body. So, in one particular case, this person had a lactose issue, lactose intolerant, we'll call it. And as a child, she was forced to drink a glass of milk with every meal. And if she didn't drink the milk, she was hit or yelled at or whatever. She was punished for it. But she didn't know she was lactose intolerant as a child, but she just knew that whatever it was when she was drinking that milk, that it was going to make her sick and get her crampy and make her not feel well, and no one would really understand her. And her parents, I'm sure on some level, felt that they were doing the best they could. I grew up in a household the same. It was make the cows happy. I had to drink my milk. It was just a time thing. Excuse me. So for her, and then it became, there was always something to do at the dinner table. Then it was that the plate had to be cleared no matter what. You had to eat what was on it, whether you were full or not. Like a lot of the stories were very, very common. Like it wasn't always that case in my house, but many times it was. I know that it was for my mom when she was growing up. And I know that as I'm saying this to you guys right now, that some of you are probably going, yeah, totally. That's how I grew up. That's how it was in my house. So sometimes, not for everyone, but sometimes those types of occurrences become a program that you run in your unconscious mind that distorts your relationship with food. And then because you have food confusion, which that's what I call it, it distorts your relationship with your physical body. So in this particular client's case, she has a program running that food it's not a beautiful thing. It's not a nurturing thing. It's not something you do for energy. It's kind of something that you want to avoid the situation. She has some food intolerances and allergies and stuff, which are all energetic manifestations of her emotional state created around food. So we have this food program that's running that has some distortions in it in her unconscious mind. And then what happens is she's got another layer of another program that's running that's about food avoidance. And it's got nothing to do with her wanting to release her weight or anything like that. It's just when I face my situation with food, there's too many things to navigate and too many emotions that come up for me. So I will just not do that, and I will go into a more comfortable program, which is food avoidance, which means she's hungry and ignores it till the point where there's no real communication between when I'm hungry and when I'm not, coming back and forth through the brain, because it's not ever being honored. Am I ever really hungry? When I'm hungry, do I ignore it? Which is self-abuse. How long do I ignore it for? Then when I do eat, I'm eating something that, because I'm ravished at that point, I'm eating something that's a poor choice. So the whole thing just can become one big self-abusing, self-sabotaging relationship with the body. So I used to say that money and love carry the most distortions for human beings. I'm going to say the top three are going to be money, love, and food. So there's those types of issues, which I have a bit of food confusion going on for myself. Honestly, I can attest to some of the stories that this client had to say. And when I was explaining it to her, I'm like, I think I needed to hear this myself. I don't always eat when I'm hungry. I always just push it through. So I've got a bit of an avoidance thing happening that I don't believe has anything to do with my weight, but I don't know. It's something for me to be aware of now. So that brings us to the topic of food. Food is meant to be a loving, nurturing thing that we engage with, an energy that we interact with that is to love and nurture our body. That's what it's meant to do. But we have all kinds of stories and programs and thoughts and beliefs and emotions around food that we get all confused and no longer use it as a loving energy tool that we're supposed to. So there's the rebellion eating, where you're like, screw it, I'm going to eat the whole carton of ice cream. And then there's the salad that can be equally abusive to the body if the whole time you're eating it, you're going, this is stupid rabbit food and I don't want to be eating this. I'd rather have a cheeseburger right now. So it's not necessarily about the food. It's about your intention, your belief system, and your emotional state when you eat it. Now, I want to remind you of, I'm sure many of you have seen it, I've posted it a few times and I will post it again, the Dr. Emoto water experiment. In that experiment, he proves that water has consciousness. I'm not going to tell you what the thing was. It's a 3-minute video. I'll post it. In this video, it shows that water has a consciousness. And what is spoken into the water or experienced by the water, whether it's a high vibrational loving energy or a low vibrational dense energy, the water takes on that consciousness. Now I will remind you that your body is 70 to 80% water. So your body is listening to the words that you say about it. It's also listening to your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, because they are an energy that are going on in you, about you, regarding you. So if you have a guilt around a food that you are eating, then you are literally telling your body to punish you with it. People that joke and say, oh, well, screw it, I'm just going to have the burger and fries. I know it's going to go to my thighs anyway, ha ha ha. What do you think is happening? You're telling it that that's exactly what you want it to do. If you reach for that glass of milk and go, well, I hope this one doesn't make me sick, then of course it's going to make you sick. Ideally, there are no rules around what you should and shouldn't eat. And I'm going to touch on this a little bit towards the end of the video. about all the spiritual boxes people have around all kinds of belief systems, including food. But I really want to drive home for you right now that your relationship with your body on all levels is really, really important for you to fully be in your body and love your body like it is like the most beautiful vessel that has ever carried your soul around ever, because it is. And then I want you to also consider where you have stories running in your mind and in your belief system with respect to food. Because food can be a loving, nourishing tool, even if it's an ice cream cone or a bag of chips. That's fine if you are doing it from a place of self-love. But many people don't. It doesn't matter what the food is, it matters what you're thinking when you eat it. It matters what you believe it will do to your body, because belief systems are very, very sticky and powerful. It matters what emotional state you're in when you eat it. Are you conscious when you eat? Do you stand at the counter and just wolf back some food? Do you sit in front of the television? Or do you actually consciously be with your food and actually take in the texture and the smell and the taste and be in an experience with this energy called food? So it's a really expansive topic to talk about, and I know that what I'm touching on in this video is just touching on it, but the energy of the food meeting with the energy of what you believe in your intention, your beliefs, and your emotions when you are eating it is really, really important, and almost more important than the food itself. If you are in a self-loving vibrational frequency with your body where you love your body will love you. You love your body, and you can eat pretty much within reason anything that you want, and just instruct your body to take what it needs and let the rest flow through. And guess what? That's what will happen. And if you are in a love-hate relationship with your body, where you are in this constant tug of war over what it weighs and what it looks like and how many stretch marks it has and whatever other stories you have running, if you're in that tug of war power struggle with your body, guess what? It's going to be confused. What foods am I supposed to take on as nourishment, and what foods am I not? She believes this about this food and this about this. Last week it was the salad. I hated the salad, says the body, because the mind told me to hate the salad. This week she's telling me to love the salad and to release the weight. I'm confused. Don't create confusion in your body around food. Be loving and kind and gentle with yourself and love your body. Work with your body. Work with the consciousness of your body, and work with the energy of the food that you eat. Whatever it is. I'm not here to judge. I don't care what you eat. But being in your body is really important. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the whole spirituality and food thing, and then we're going to wrap it up with some other ways that you can try and be in your body more and more often. There is many, many spiritual people, spiritual teachers, spiritual communities that believe that being vegan is the only way to be spiritual. And there's another aspect of me right now that went, oh my God, she's going there. And yes, I am. I'm going there. On one hand, it is true that being vegan ultimately versus being vegetarian versus being whatever, carnivore, I guess is what we would call people that still eat meat, that being vegan is the ultimate goal of where we will all be at some point when we are fully anchored into the fifth dimension. We will grow from the land and eat from the land food that was grown by the sun from Mother Gaia, that is high vibrational frequency food. All the processed stuff that makes us sick, all of that stuff will be gone. That is truth. However, as long as we are here in the third dimensional reality with third dimensional physical bodies, there is a lot more other work for us to be doing in order to clear ourselves, to heal ourselves, to release old tired programs, and to ascend before we need to go there if that's not what feels natural for you to do now. If it feels natural for you to do, then do it. But if you have suitcases and suitcases of childhood stuff that needs to be healed and all kinds of grief that is laying in your heart, gonna be a vegan ain't gonna fix that. So the whole concept of it is that we would try to eat organic meat, organic fruits and vegetables, to get away from processing pesticides and poisons. The point of eating humanely raised meat products is so that the energy of the slaughter is not ingested into our body. That is all true from an energetic standpoint. It is all true. However, it does not mean that you can't be a spiritually awakened, ascended being and eat meat products that you buy at no frills. It doesn't. It doesn't make you an enlightened being or a not enlightened being based on what diet process you choose to be. And again, I'm saying if it's natural for you, then do that. I know it's becoming more and more natural for me. I can't eat pork anymore. I don't eat red meat anymore. I'm down pretty much just to chicken a couple of times a week, and the rest of the time I'm vegetarian. And I didn't push that on myself. It just happened. It's just something that evolved, that as I'm ascending, I'm finding that certain foods are more appealing to me from an energetic place, I suppose. It's a resonance. And some aren't. Some digest easily, some just don't digest anymore. It feels heavy in my body. As our physical vessel ascends, we are going to want lighter on both sides, like lighter to digest, lighter in weight, lighter in frequencied foods, because that's what our physical vessel will resonate with as our body becomes lighter. So there is no rule around you're not being an awakened being or you're not going to get to ascend if you still eat cheeseburgers and steaks. It's not. We have lots of other work that we can be doing, and if it doesn't come natural to you, then don't beat yourself up over it. All that I ask by attempting to address this topic as cleanly and fairly as possible is that you just be conscious. If buying organic is not within, we got low power. If eating all organic meats, fruits, and vegetables is not within your budget, then that's fine. That doesn't make you less spiritual. It doesn't make you less of a person. That's fine. Just be conscious. Do what you can when you can, and when you can't, just be conscious. Don't buy all kinds of food and then throw it out. Don't eat all kinds of meat every single day just because that's what you've always done. Maybe that isn't what your body needs anymore. If you were in your body, you would know. So I just want to say that there are no boxes around it other than the fact that you're just meant to be more aware. Be more aware of what you're putting in your body when. What attachments have you got to it? Is there a story? Is there trauma? Is this just a childhood thing that's carried on and you've never stopped to think about it? What emotional state am I in when I eat? Am I avoiding eating, and what's that all about? Okay? All right, last thing, because I did get a low battery message here. Being in your body. Things that you can do that will help you be in your body. 100 times throughout the day, you can stop and do a body scan. And that can just simply be, again, hand to heart tells the body, neurology, that there's something about to happen. Go toes, ankles, shins, knees, thighs. Just do a body scan. I'm feeling and bringing conscious awareness for just a couple of seconds to my entire physical body. When you shower, where are you? Mentally and consciously. Get back in the shower with yourself. get back in the bath with yourself. When you cream, when you brush your teeth, can you even taste the toothpaste, or are you off consciously thinking about being somewhere else while you're autopilot brushing your teeth? When you put cream on, be with it. Be with the cream, be with the sensation, be with your body. What other ones did I want to think about? Just the body scan, it's just about being with your body. Like dress in a way that matters. Feed yourself like you matter. If exercising feels like something you like to do to move your body, it's really good to help move the energy, then do that. But don't exercise in a way that you hate. Find something that you like to do that just means you're moving your body. Intention and the energy in which that you approach everything means everything. If wearing skinny jeans isn't your thing, then don't wear skinny jeans. Find what's your thing and wear them and love them and look great in them. If doing a cardio aerobics class at your local gym makes you want to poke your eye out, don't do that. Maybe you'll find going for hikes outside or lifting weights or joining a Zumba class is more fun for you. Then do that. And it's the same thing around food. We have to get back into our bodies. We have to start being in a conscious relationship with our body and with what's going on in our body, because it's always trying to talk to us. And for some people, their biggest distortion is food. And you really have to look at what that's all about. Okay, I'm really, really sorry that I can't answer your questions online, but if you have questions, I'm going to pop off here and plug my phone in before it dies. If you have questions, go ahead and post them in the comments and I will address them in just a few minutes. A lot of information tonight. It feels like it came out a little discombobulated, and I hope that it was received better than I feel like it was delivered. I don't know, no judgment, it is what it is. I am doing a second run of the Money Masterclass. That is a 1-week virtual masterclass talking about money, programs, what it is to unravel yourself from all of the familial and societal programming around money. It was a fantastic program the last time I did it, so much so that the feedback I got from all of the participants, they've already started making life-changing decisions around their money. I decided I have to run it again. So June the 9th is when I'll be running that program again. And it's a 1-week masterclass. $35. It's practically free. 35 is 3 and a 5, and it's an 8, and it's abundance. So that's fun too. Wednesday night's My Place meditation. I will see you all in the group. Take care. Please use your tools over the next few days. Love you guys. Bye.